Again. Okay. Let's see. Thank you. Appreciate it. I was just about there. I actually did that before I started because I pre-tested everything before we started this because I'm doing something kind of I think is kind of cool and kind of unique. Um, Whether you know or not, I'm using XSplit Broadcaster as my streaming platform because I just don't. I know OBS is free and you can do a lot of cool stuff with it. I, at my point in life, I want simple. I really don't want complicated. XSplit is a little bit more reined in, but man, it does nice work. Licensing is nice. It's not outrageous, and I'm able to do this dual stream on it, which is really cool. It's my first time doing it. A little uptime to get up and running, but you know it's pretty good. One of the cool things that I'm able to do that we're going to use tonight is my one source is actually let me see. There's my camera. My one source is actually going to be my cell phone. XSplit VCam has an option where you can connect your cell phone, and I just have mine plugged in for power, not for connectivity, but you can do it via USB. But I'm doing it just for power. But you can connect your cell phones; those are on the same network, same Wi-Fi or same physical network. You can have your cell phone or another Wi-Fi enabled camera to be an auxiliary or even your primary if you want it to be your primary. So that's what I'm trying that out as well because I'm a little confined in my office space, so I don't have a lot of flexibility for doing something like an unboxing. But this is a something I've been waiting for over a year. Um, uh, um, and we 8 o'clock. We are 8 o'clock, so we're officially getting into this and getting busy and getting jiggy with it. Um, so I don't have a lot of space, so I needed to be a little bit mobile. And you guys just give me a little patience when if I'm putting the camera down or whatever. Whoa! Thank you for that. I appreciate that follow from Zombie Puppy. That's awesome. That is terrific. I really appreciate that, Zombie Puppy. Um, Kind of surprised because I got this big sound. I don't have any of the notifications. I just threw a screen up, made a screen up real quick to be able to show this. So I don't have any of the little notifications or poppers coming up. So I just want to give a shout out to Zombie Puppy. Thank you. That's awesome that you are following. Gets me closer to that minimum 50 followers. To get the junior Twitch or whatever it's called, the not partner, but I don't know what it is, but it's you have to have 50 followers. So that's great affiliate. Thank you, the Keldor. So that's awesome that that's happening. So a little background here. A company called Bad Crow Games. When a good friend of mine, actually a high school buddy of mine, since I was, I think, God, I've known Brian since I was about 12 years old or so. When he just recently retired out of the Army. He's in the Corps of Engineers. He's retired out as a full-bird colonel. And one of the things he's always wanted to do is have a game company. So he bought himself into a game company. And this was their first effort that they're coming out with since he came aboard. I don't know if they've had anything prior to this. This was kind of their big one. And basically, what they did is they bought the rights from Sega to port the game that Sega produced called Company of Heroes. It's a kind of a World War II simulator. Um, it started, I think it was on console, then it went PC, is I believe the evolution. I could have that wrong. I don't have all the history on it, but it's It's a pretty cool little game. There's actually some funny videos that people have put up on Steam, but it's pretty interesting game. Let's. I just finished my first tasty beverage because I know I was going to be talking a lot. Tonight's beverage, they're not really a sponsor, but they're my favorite. One of my favorite beer companies is Tall Tales Brewing, and we will be starting the evening with some a breed called a Mimose, which is a play on the mimosa, and it actually is a nice light champagne-y taste. It's a very nice adult beverage. Okay, so that'll probably get me nuked or something on YouTube. I have never done anything on YouTube, but this was a first, so who knows what that will do. But cheers, mud in your eye. Okay, so we are going to get started. I'm going to get the primary box. As I was saying, this was a Kickstarter that they started. Oh, it was pre-pandemic when they started the Kickstarter. And it's been interesting to follow, and knowing somebody in the company, it's been interesting to hear some of the stories of how getting it, besides the development of adapting it from a video game to a board game, but just the production side of getting models done. And they camped some guy over in China for a while just to monitor production and make sure things were getting produced and designed right and could get eyes on models and all like that. And one of the to be supportive to my friend, I mean the man was with me in my wedding, so I felt a little committed here, and so I bought the all-in package, which was basically everything but one or two small expansions. And I didn't get there was an option to get all metal models and an option to get painted. I did not get either of those options. I'm kind of glad I didn't, because there's been with the pandemic and everything else, there's been some serious delays in shipping painted models. So, and I've painted my fair share of miniatures in my day, and I'm not too bad at it. So, if I feel the itch, maybe I'll paint them. Maybe I'll just leave them be. But let me pick up the portable, and let's make it a little shaky, make it a little right. We'll do a look at the exterior, and then we'll get into unboxing and seeing what we got. So up goes the portable. So, as I said, I'm kind of close quarters here. So that's the box, the all-in bundle box. Let me see if I can do a little spin so you can see the sides. And that's it. It arrived in pretty good shape, I think. And let me see if I can spin this back around. Keep this in one place. I'm sorry if I'm making people seasick. And we're going to go up. And as some of my good friends know, when you put me near sharp objects, like X-Acto blades or razor blades or anything like that, there's usually blood. Not from the lack of being cautious, it's just these things just reach out and grab me. So let's get in here and let's start doing a little opening. And I apologize for the shaky or wobbly camera work here, but let's get her open and get her started and see what's what. All right, so whoop! I knew I shouldn't have picked a table that was on wheels. So here we go. Let the excitement begin. Oh my! Alrighty, alrighty. Little protective cover, and this is, I think, worth it just because it's such a big system. I think the fact that they did a case, a battle chest, I believe, or battle crate they call it, I think was a real smart move. So this is the War Crate, and we're gonna spin it around. Whoa! There goes the dramatic effect of a spin. There is the crate. All right, I'm gonna set the camera down here for a moment, and we're gonna pull this crate out. So give me a minute, and let's get this crate out here. Pardon my big old belly on the screen. Oh my goodness. Oh my gravy. Of course, I've got a cord caught on a drawer and it's pulling the drawer out. Of course. A horse is a horse, of course, of course. Okay, so it's actually packaged really, really well. Had some nice corner foam on there. I am not zoomed in. There's some side look. And it looks like it's double hinged here. As you can see, there's some double hinge work here, so I think there are parts, there are flaps that are... Now this game is a miniature based game, and it's a economy and what they call it, economy and strategic point capturing type base system. And there's Germany, British, and Russian representation. That's why there's a bunch of different typing on here. Now I'm going to see if maybe that's just how it's built. They were originally going to do a metal crate, but they had some structural issues with it. So, oh, that's cool. There's locks right here. So, whoop. Trying to do this one-handed. There's locks here that you can lock. So I guess as if you're taking it to somebody's home or something to play, you don't run the risk of the locks. I'm sorry, probably not the best camera position because all you're seeing is my back and my butt. So, sorry. But, okay, so let's see what we got. Fold that open. Fold that open. Now I bought the all-in, and I can play at the 4-player and the 2-player, so I can play up to 6 in here. So here is the packaging. There is a lot of foam. And more foam. All right. We got all kinds of add-on expansions. And there's some really, if it's like what the images were online, man, there's a lot of plastic in here. If the imaging is anything, and I'm left-handed, so I'm trying to shoot with my left and pull with my right, and that's not working out too well. So, throw that up on the printer. So, we have the co-op. Let me find a place I can put this. I didn't plan this nearly as well as I thought I had. Maybe we'll use the 3D printer bed, and maybe we can fit some of those up. So we have the co-op expansion, which this allows you to play solo and or add additional people to it. We have, this is one of the expansions, the Oberk Commando West, which gives you some cool German, and we're going to open these up. So we probably should just start doing that and see what we have, because we have some really cool stuff, and I think we'll go to a sitting mode at the table and start taking these apart. Whoops, one by one. Okay, let me figure out what I'm doing here. I've kind of painted myself into a corner. So let's see if we can make a little room. All right, so I think we'll flip that camera back up. Nice belly shot. And I'll try to get my seat coordinated. And maybe what we'll do is I'll stream from. Hey, thank you, cool man, dude. I work at it. It's not easy as an older man to keep that butt going, but many hours on the elliptical, etc., keeps it nice and toit. Toit as a tiger. So I think what we're going to do is I think we're going to take the broad camera here, and hopefully this will not screw up. And I think we're going to put it down hopefully like that. And we can see if we can get my keyboard out of the way, beer cans out of the way, candy wrappers out of the way. If you hear a loud crash, that's something falling off the desk. It's all good. All right, so let's see what we have. Let's see what we have for. I think we're just going to work from the top and just kind of go through and see what we got. So the first thing we got here is the Covert Expansion Kit. And okay, so this has 48 unit tokens, 16 event tokens, 25 action cards, 10 AI instruction cards, 4 AI commander cards, 6 CP cubes, and 1 solo rule book. So I believe this is primarily for playing solo, so you can play it solo. But it also will give you enough of the tokens, etc., and cards to expand out to I think it's a six player. So I should probably do it this way. So we're learning. And so here we have the AI action deck. Let's get that lined up. I'm looking at the wrong thing. AI action deck. Of course, it's showing it in reverse. And some capture, I think these are CP tokens, control point tokens. And then these are instruction cards, which tells you how, if you're playing in solo mode, how what actions your opponent works on. This is the rule book. It's a nice size book. Seems to be well printed. Nice glossy interior pages. So there we have that. Let's see. So it explains all how to do it, how to play. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit of a runny nose. And then we have some punch outs, a variety of punch outs for like here is the troops, and there's some other ones in here too. So I'm not going to sit here and punch all these out, etc. I'm just giving a brief overview of what's included in the system. So this was the solo and the expansion, co-op expansion for the core game. All right, so we'll put that off to the side, and let's get into some miniatures. Let's see some models. So we're going to open the Oberkommander West. Man, my cam light is really killing me right now. Let's see. It's a little better. Not as bad. It could be a little better light, but let's pop this puppy open and let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. I got some tape stuck from the shipping. Now, apparently there has been some issues with some of the tanks' guns being bent, and apparently just a small warm water bath will allow you to straighten them out, straighten them up. Okay, so this is the Oberkommander West set. Let's do. Okay. And so here's what we have. We have some, and I don't know what all these are yet. These are, I think, skill cards, and they have different instructions and controls for different skill sets. So put off that to the side, and then we have some not like objective markers. This is the Panzer HQ building. So it has different controls, and if it's controlled by certain groups, they get certain benefits and bonuses, I believe, is how it's going to work, and it can produce certain vehicles. So now we're going to get into the cool stuff, and I think we're going to have to put the overhead light on. I know that's going to create some glare. Maybe we'll try and tone it down some so it's not nearly as bright. It looks like we got nice and lucky with our models, and I'm probably going to pick up the handheld for this to give us a better view. Ooh, don't look at my boogers. Of the models. We maybe even need a little auxiliary light. So let's pick one of these puppies up, and it's got some good weight to it. I think we need some added light. I'm going to bring that light back up because I know it's going to create a little glare, but there's some nice detail on these. And if you don't know, if you like the World War II era stuff, let's see, there is a bit of a slight curvature, but I mean, it's the size of a piece of linguine, the diameter of a piece of linguine. You're going to have that. But what I like is they were really kind for all of us that haven't memorized every vehicle that there is in the military history, etc. Is they've inscribed the names of each vehicle onto the bottom of the little. Here's a Luke, and I can't get over. I wish I could Hmm. Maybe that'll give a little better perspective of the detail. And I can't get over the really nice weight that these have. These have a tremendously nice weight. They're not light. Oh, there's Hoover. They're not light and flimsy. And when you look at how thin that barrel is, and it's as straight as it can be, and shipping from China, it's just amazing. So this is looks like it's a little mortar kind of based, what is that? A Sturm Tiger. So I think we're going to try. Do I have another holder here? Nope, I've used it. All right, we're going to flip it. I'll probably get ants on my desk from leaving. I figured. Definitely spilt some beer. Oh, and I don't have any. I do have a towel here. Nice. Nice. So what else have we got here? It looks like we got some transport trucks. Oh, you know what I can do? I can do this. Hold on, chat. So, oh. So that's a little tracked transport supply truck. And these are pretty cool looking. Let's see if I can get one of these out without busting it up. And this is a Stuka half track. And then we've got some Pumas. And again, barrels are pretty darn straight. Then we have some, looks like a howitzer type anti-tank and OKW-9. Little half track or little anti-tank gun. And some flak guns. See if we can get us to focus in. There's some nice detail, and these in the anti-tank guns were just sitting, loose pack, and they don't seem all the worse for wear. They seem pretty straight. And I'm going to put down for a second, and we're going to open this package up and take a look at a couple characters just to see how they look. Okay. So these look pretty cool. I mean, the guns are in pretty good shape, and I think overall, not too shabby. I'm sorry for the focusing. The focusing can be a little difficult, but that's the Oberkommander West pack. There's some pretty cool stuff in there. Some nice miniatures, a lot of miniatures. So I think that's pretty neat. And let's go on to another pack. So let's put the cover back on, keep the models from flopping around, and we'll put the cover back on. So that was Over Commander West expansion. Now, a lot of these, part of these were stretch goals from the Kickstarter. So that was kind of cool too. This was my first Kickstarter that I had ever participated in. So there was a lot of learning in how a Kickstarter worked. But I really enjoyed learning a lot of that stuff. So let's see. We're just going to work our way down the pile. We got two of the smaller expansions. This is the Pathfinder pack and the Eastern Reinforcements pack. So let's take a look, and I guess we'll let the Russians go first. And we'll slicey and see if Mackie has any fingers by the end of the day. And I know I cut that. Yep, I cut it. My cutter is really good. Okay, turn the blade away from me so I don't end up walking wounded. I'm going to have so much packaging on the floor. Mrs. Boxy B is going to have my head for garters or something. All right, so here we have the Eastern Reinforcements. Let's see what we got here. I'll grab the remote unit and pop it over. And so we have some character cards for this, telling us what each machine can do and its stats and its attack and defensive stats, etc. And then we got the Red Army here. And this came packaged really nice. I'm just going to give you a general detail look. Oh, I thought I had my lights on, but I didn't. That's why things were going so crazy. So you can see some of the detail just from the top before I start manhandling things. Again, the barrels look beautiful, but they got that foam. So let's see. Beautiful detail work. Kind of like that size for painting. These little guys, I think, would be tough to paint. Let me put you guys up for a second. I love touchscreens. Every time I manipulate the camera, I'm hitting something. Okay, come on, bag. All right. So let's take a little look-see. Oh, these are freaking amazing. When you see I'm gonna get in focus. When you see the detail on this, and the fact that those little guns aren't bent or broken off is just nuts. So let's go back that mode and we'll package these back up. But all the, let me check all of them. One or two have some some droopage, but I mean, the grand scheme of things, I mean, these things are like, the ends of these are like the thickness of a strand of hair. So good on you for being able to pull that off and not have a lot of damage. That's pretty freaking impressive. Uh, so so far, I'm feeling pretty impressed here with this release. So let's get the little bag back in. We'll put the little cards back in, and now we'll put the box lid. That was Eastern Reinforcements. And whoops. Next is the Pathfinder. This is, I believe these are the U.S. Pathfinders. So they were the ones that went in first and marked where the airborne was going to drop. And they kind of do the recon, scout things out. So, all right, let's see what we got in here. I imagine it's going to be a similar setup. So we have some of the company cards that will let us know what the group can do and their skills and their Pathfinder commander and their special abilities, etc. So let's now take a look at their little vehicle. And again, all these vehicles have really nice weight to them. Now this one is not marked, but let's take a little look-see. Again, my light keeps going out. Again, a decent barrel. I mean, so many possible things could have happened in shipping and transport. And we'll look at these guys just in the bag. Again, some paper thin barrels, and overall they look like they're in great shape. So let's put that back and let's get back to opening up some more packs. Check something real quick to make sure I'm still live. Yeah, I'm still live on YouTube. So again, just a shout out that we are dual streaming on both Twitch and on YouTube at the same time. First time I've ever done it. Shout out to XSplit Broadcaster and XSplit for their broadcaster software, as well as the XSplit VCam, which allows me to use my cell as a secondary wireless camera for my stream. It's freaking nuts. I'm digging it. So, all right. And I welcome any new people that are watching on YouTube and on Twitch. And if you haven't signed up to follow, I would greatly appreciate if you click that follow button. It doesn't cost you a dime. Gets me closer to affiliate status, which I need 50. So please click it. If you're watching it and you're enjoying what you're seeing, there is going to be, I'm going to have to really work on setting it up, but I'm going to have a bunch of people over, and we're going to play the game. I was promised by Colonel Green that he will come home and he will help host the event and demonstrate and walk through how to play. So looking forward to that in the future, and we will definitely be streaming that. So all good. So let's keep opening boxes, because man, we got a lot of boxes to open. I mean, a lot. So And there's some tasty looking stuff in here, I'll tell you that. Feel like Christmas. So the next one we're doing is this is the Stug Assault Pack, and it has a bonus of some elite infantry commanders. So that is the Stug Assault Pack. And let's get this sucker open and see what's inside. The Stugs were German. And let's see. So we'll pull this cap off. And as usual, we have a set of company cards like that tell you what the units do. Now these actually come, I need to switch over to the okay, keeps turning my light off. So it comes with some extra special dice. Again, since I really don't know what they're for, but there's some extra dice that look like they do some different things, of course. And then we have some cool looking tanks, little Stugs, and all I got looks like I got all good. And I'm not sure, and I'm sure I'll find out why there's two different colors. But these are Stugs. I'm assuming these are all still Stugs. Yes, they are all Stugs. Let's get it up on the homemade pedestal so we can spin the wind so y'all can see some of the detail on there. Okay, now these were kind of tight to come out, so I'm going to put those dice back in before I fit this little Stug in there, because it was a tight, a little too tight fit for my taste, but it's in there. They certainly won't bounce around by any means. All right, so I'm going to flip us back and get this box repackaged up. But again, another beautiful set of barrels on those little Stugs. Nothing really bent or out of shape. So that was the Stug Assault Pack. And woo! So this is another one of the expansions. This is the, I'm trying to see my screen here. The Elite. My damn ring light is killing me here. The Elite Commanders set, and this is an expansion that gives you more companies and specialized leaders that just to give you more variety in your gameplay. And it says expand your company of heroes collection with 20 of the most powerful and iconic vehicles from World War II. Elite Commanders collection is a bundle of 10 commander packs in one box, featuring 16 unique commanders with new doctrinal abilities and call-ins from all 5 factions. So this really expands out what you can do in the game. So let's open up the Elite Commanders expansion and let's see. Maybe I'll start removing the plastic first before I try and show it, because that seems to not get as much ring light on it. So we're learning as we go. And yeah, you're right, Cool Man Dude. I said I'm opening some boxes. There's another whole shipping box we haven't even touched yet, and I've got at least 3 more huge boxes inside there, inside the War Crate. So it's going to get interesting. I'm hoping it all fits in the war crate. Supposedly everything will fit in the war crate if you get the war crate. Apparently everything will fit. And oh, we have some pretty. We have some pretty. We got lots of miniatures. Lots of miniatures here. So I'm going to take the plastic cover off. Oh, I shouldn't have picked the camera up right away. We'll take the plastic off. Sorry about that. Seeing my hands. So we have all the... Every time I flip it back to my face view, it turns my camera light off. So we have our... wow. We have all the company commander cards. We may do a more in-depth showing and looking at the cards some other time. I really don't want to kill everybody tonight with 2 hours of looking at individual cards quite yet. But let's just do a general pan here at all of these guys. And yeah, a little bit of a bow on some of them, but I mean, when you think how they've traveled, I am not losing sleep at all. I'm not going to be an uptight, you know. I don't even know what these little guys are. Let's see what these are. We'll have to find out later what those guys are. Maybe they're printed? Nope, they're not printed. Well, let's take a little. Oh, and oh, these. Oh, I know what some of these are. Some of these have removable tank tops, because you can change their turrets to be different type of like some of them had came in some of the vehicles during the conflicts came with projectile-based turrets, and then the same chassis could have, instead of a projectile turret, would have, let's say, like a flamethrower turret or something like that. So I think some of these are interchangeable. So this is again some pretty nice freaking detail on these suckers, and I'm really not going to lose sleep. Plus, some of these you can turn, because in game and it's limited turning. That's as far as it'll go. So it's notched so that you can be positioned like this, turn the turret, and shoot in a like a 15-degree angle or something like that. So these are some big hosses here. This is a Calliope, the little stubby guy. And they're all color-coded. Green is US, red is Russian, I believe the gray is going to be the German, and I believe these are British. Are the tan, and this is the Firefly, and it's got extra guns on it. And it's pretty neat looking. Okay, let's flip back and oh, and make sure we don't have anything busting up, and put the lid on. And that was the Elite Commanders unit. So there's a bunch of expansion material in this box, and the boxes are very well made. They're good, tight-fitting boxes. Everyone wants their box to be nice and tight, and because you don't want the lids to come off or anything like that and have stuff fall all over the place. So let's check out some. And this was, I believe, one of the stretch goals. This is the terrain pack. So this is, I know I was going to do, so I don't get all that ring light. I've been very impressed so far with how this has been packaged and the shipping, etc. So let's get this cover off, and let's see how this looks. So this is the Terrain Pack 1. Okay, Terrain Pack 1. And there's all kinds of stuff in here. Let's see. No boogies, no boogies, no boogies. No whammies, no whammies. So, this is... we might have to take that out so you can see it. So, how do we do this without people getting seasick and... Oop, so they aren't seeing the ceiling. Hey, there we go. Oh, but man, that light is bright. Bright light, bright light. So let's kind of wish I had an arm with my one web camera mounted on it. So these are, and I'll never get them back packaging right, probably again. Okay, let's see how we do this. This is little concertina barbed wire barriers. And then we have whoa, we've got a building down. Building down. So then we have, let's see if we can get this on here. A building. And what's nice is the way they're set up is when if you move your squad in here, they go up top here, so you know that they're there and people can see them. They're not hidden inside, which is kind of neat. And it looks like you can, for some reason, they've made this removable. So I guess if they're covert, you can put them inside there or something to that effect. So there's several of these little houses. So the whole bottom layer here is all the little buildings. This, I'm not going to pull these out, but these are basically just, as you can see, little tank traps. And then these are a little hard to see, but they are basically little curved sandbag piles. And then these are, I guess, capture point flags to indicate who has possession of those. Now in here, oh, and these are. I got to take the. This is what holds the little flags. So these are some kind of goal marker indicator. So, but all kinds of little buildings there, which is very cool. I'm going to flip you back to facing view, and we're going to put our little concertina wire back in the back. Oh, shoot! Oh. And of course, I got concertina wire on the floor. That's going to hurt when I step on it. 1, 2. Any more? All right. We got them. We recovered them. So we've got a bunch of concertina wire. We'll get that back in its little bag. All right, so that was the terrain pack number 1. Oh, that was a good sound. Good sound. All right, so the next was an add-on that I picked up, and it's the Ruins of War terrain pack number 2. And this adds some more buildings, and I kind of went a little overboard with this because I got a 40K feel from it with the buildings and all like that, so I couldn't resist. Love me some 40K. So that's where my model painting kind of developed. I mean, I did do a little bit of painting back in the first edition of Dungeons and Dragons back in the day. You know who I played with. Back when miniatures were rare to find. So this is the Ruins of War Terrain Pack 2. And this is looking mighty special. I think what we're going to do, chat, is I'm going to do a little bit of assembly. So I'm going to leave the camera the way it is. Wow, some of these are dense molds. Dense. Super, super freaking dense. And when you see this, this is just nuts. Nuts, nuts, nuts. Nuts, nuts, nuts. Now you can start to see some of it. I was looking over and I was like, oh, they can see some of it. So we'll just go for a couple of the big pieces and then we'll go from there. So here's one of the items. This is a church, and it's actually in 3 pieces. There's this piece that comes out, and then the top of the turret comes off of the steeple. And then this is a pillbox. This sucker is so dense. It's unbelievable how thick the plastic is on this. And these are little holders where you put your turret, your pillbox people, etc. And then is that removable? No. But if you look underneath here, you look at how thick that plastic is. I mean, that is serious heavy duty plastic. There is a bunch more of blown out buildings in this case. There are some artillery like howitzer type pieces here. There's a lot of stuff in here, and I mean a lot of stuff. So we're going to put this back in here, and it's all amazingly formed. I mean, really heavy duty plastic molding here. So that's really nice to see. And there's a bunch of gun emplacement placements for the little howitzers. So let's see if I can remember how this all went together. I think that went like that. I think these guys were inside that. And they spent some time engineering to get this package the way it all fits together. They really did. Now, this part's being a little stubborn. So let me get one of these out so you can see. So I know there's a lot of plastic. Well, I take this one out of the plastic. Now these are a little thinner, but they're still thicker than I'd expect. And these are more kind of bombed out bombed out building pieces. There's some really nice stuff. These guys over at Bad Crow Games really went above and beyond with this. Now, keep in mind it was not a cheap buy-in for this, but I mean, for what was provided was well worth the investment. And I like the fact that there is a solo option, so I can, my wife isn't much of a board game person, let alone something like this. So if I can't get anyone to come over and hang out with me, I can play a little solo games myself. Now I'll get that back in. But tolerances are pretty strict here, so getting stuff back in correct is it's a challenge. It's kind of a good challenge, kind of like a jigsaw puzzle. So that I'm glad I added this on. I went back and forth about adding it on. It wasn't a lot to add on, but man, now that I see it up close and in person, well worth adding that on. It's going to add so much more to the it's going to add so much more to the game. So there's certain people in chat that will have mandatory attendance when at least one or two game nights occur. They know who they are. I don't care about kids. You can find babysitters, and you will come over and have some beverages and play some games. Okay, so now to the main mamma jamma. Oh shoot! This sucker weighs a ton. We are now going to see. We are now going to see the core box set, and I guess I can read a little bit of what's in the core set. So, because this is a big box, and we may not be able to go, or I don't know if I want to go through every individual piece, but let's see. This is and this weighs probably about 20, 25 pounds, it feels like. This is the box set. This is the core set. And in this core set, there are 116 infantry, 30 weapon teams, 24 light vehicles, 26 heavy vehicles, 24 infantry trays, 66 dice, 156 cubes, 12 building boards, 20 commander cards, 6 vehicle trays, 64 tokens, 4 double layered HQ boards, 4 huge interchangeable maps, 1 rulebook, 1 mission booklet, plus 6 custom component trays to secure your miniatures. And I'll turn this, and I believe this is the 4-player. I believe. I could be mistaken. So there is the box again. Nice large rule book, especially for those of us who have to wear reading glasses, etc. now. So that's very tasty to see. I'm trying to figure the best way. That was the basic rule book. Then there's the advanced rule book. And then there is the mission rule book. And there are all kinds of different missions, etc. to set up and play. Now this is kind of cool. There's a bunch of decals for putting onto your models, which is kind of nice. And there is a caring for your new miniatures collection, and it talks about some basic painting guides, how to straighten barrels, and just some basic painting techniques that don't take a lot of time to it says every miniature comes pre-treated for paint and readily accepts anything from hardware store paint to professional airbrushing. And so we may do a little brush on them. Who knows? We'll see. Gotta kind of really have to have this feel to get the spirit to do that. So, but that's very nice that they included that. Then these are all the different trays, and these are nice dense trays for the player trays, for your income, because part of this, as I said, is a capture and economy based, so it's kind of a strategic capture and economy building type game. So, and then there are a bunch of punch outs for, and this is where the terrain replaces some of these, like mortar emplacements and things like that. So there's a bunch of these in there. And then these are all the headquarters cards for all the different factions. This is one of the Russian armor groups. Oops, sorry, Russian armor groups. Here is some more of the squad-based cards, commander cards on there. And then we have, we're going back to mobile again. Then we have a bunch of trays with a bunch of tanks. That's army. There's a bunch of your little people, your meeples. For all you jeepers. For all you jeepers. Here's the great grandpa. Whoops. It's a Jeep. Roll it back over. So, and then here is the Russian collection. And again, barrels are all looking pretty damn good. I really can't see much issue with, man, this is a lot. Ooh, well, that one, that's a right angle barrel. Woo! He's a bit bent. But some of these longer ones are pretty damn amazing. And again, the weight of these is just nuts. This is the British. And there it's talking about how you can have different. This was the flamethrower turret, and I forget which one, but one of these it swaps out on. And then down here are all the errata and the war characters, and whew, and cubes. And oh my God, there's even more down underneath that. Hold on. And then these are all the base maps. And they're nice, hefty maps. I'm in too close at quarters right now. I'm not gonna try and unfold one of those suckers. But yeah, that's ooh. That's why this sucker weighs so much. It's your economy peoples and your action cubes and trays for the characters, for the minis, mini trays. Tons, I guess timers, because I guess you have some things are on certain time frames. More like little howitzers. So pretty impressive so far. So let's put these guys all back in here. See if I can do this while resting it on one leg and not dump it all across the freaking floor. Okay, I'm going to flip back here. Oop. All right, here we go. We are back. I'm going to put some of these big pieces back in place. And they really did some impressive work with their whoever they had doing just the packaging, because they pay people now just to design packaging and things like that, and they got a good one, whoever they got to do their packaging, because this is some good precision packaging. So okay, well, that was still more. Okay, so whoop, whoop. Another tight box. Oh, is that tight? So it looks like you can, I don't know if you can bend this box down or not. It's jointed, but I don't think you want to. So I'm going to put some of these back in here. And then we are going to go look at that auxiliary box of stuff once we get all this back in place. So I can't wait to start learning the rules and playing. I did pick up the game on Steam and played a little bit of it on Steam, so I do know some of the basic premises of it. Whew. All right, so let's see if these guys will fit down in here okay. All right, so one more box. And she's not petite either. She's got some size to her. Oh. And I'm assuming that since it came off the same FedEx delivery as the first box, that it's a continuation. I am a little nervous that it isn't all going to fit in the war crate, but it is. It's more. Let's see. We got some nice bubble pack. Oh, okay. Yeah, all right. So, as I thought, because I was a little confused by the co-op expansion. This is the two-player version, the two-player set. So the core set that we opened up earlier was the four-player core set. And then this is the two-player core set. So this allows you to either play just two-player, obviously, duh, or we can use this in conjunction with the other core set and play up to 6. So I don't think we're going to go through the whole thing of opening this one up. But the contents is 62 infantry, 15 weapons teams, 12 light vehicles, 14 heavy vehicles, 12 infantry trays, 33 dice, 78 cubes, 6 building boards, 10 commander cards, 2 vehicle trays, 64 tokens, 2 double layered HQ boards, 2 large interchangeable maps, and 1 rule book and one mission book. Gameplay is approximately 1 to 2 hours, 14 and older, and this is for 2 players. I'm not going to open this I'm going to take the plastic off, but I think it's pretty much going to be just a scaled down version. It's going to be half of the 4-player set. So I think we kind of know what all's going to be in there, basically based on what we saw in the 4-player. But that is very nice, and the bitch is going to be getting it in the box. That kind of blows. That might take a little creative, since I don't have anything else to open, I'm putting the sharp thing away so I don't end up cutting myself, which is not out of the realm of possibility. Now, I may be able to do... let's see. Well, let's at least do product placement so people can see it. And let's see if we can do a little creative boxing here. A little creative boxing by Boxy B. So if we take the... How thick is that? That and that. It's 3 of these. It's a pain in the butt. That's a pain in the butt. Ooh, I think we may be on to something, chat. I think. And I knew when I talked with Brian, aka Colonel Green, he had said everything would fit. And you can see on that one camera angle there, it's not the best angle in the world, I am getting everything in here. So you can have it all, chat. It is possible. So let's go mobile. And boom, boom. So there it is. All packed up. Both the 2-player and 4-player core sets are in there. Plus all the add-ons and extra terrain in the War Crate. And I think they did a smart move going with this style of crate. I think that was the right way to go. That, I think, is, and that's what those little locks, it keeps it snugged down. I think that was a great way they did it. And, wow. How about that, chat? So I'm going to move a few things around so that we can get back. So, I've got so many wires all over the place here. It's just a wreck. Uh, yeah, that was pretty good. Let's get this tipped up so we can see. So then you can suffer with two of me. A little bit more. There. So that way, you suffer with two times. Wow, it's really sad that my phone camera is actually, from what I'm seeing on my streaming software, seems like my camera's doing a better image than it's a little more zoomed in though, so that's part of it. So, but anyway, that was pretty exciting. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm excited to get playing. I'm gonna try and get some solo. Try and do the solo version. See how that works with the AI cards and all. I got a lot coming up. VW wise. I mean, a bunch of shows. Got a show Sunday. We're going to go. It's not a VW dedicated show, but a car show on Sunday if the weather holds. And let's see. I'm looking at going up to Mannheim, Pennsylvania for. There's one up there called Volksfest, and then we got a cruise in Ocean City coming up in the third week of May. That's always a great time, and it's always fun because there's not too many VWs that show up for it. It's all muscle cars and 57 Chevys and that kind of stuff, yeah, which are all cool. I mean, don't get me wrong, and guys put in just as much effort rebuilding and restoring and modifying as my dad and I did, and my dad did a lot of the work. I was kind of the find it guy. He needed parts, and I'd be like, find it. And that was my job. So, and I did some helping too. But he did some amazing work on the bot. It's a 71 VW camper, for those of you not in the know. And then following that, we have a local group called, it's not local, Christ, we have people that come from New York and as far south as the Carolinas come up for it, a group called VW Convoy. You can find them on Facebook, and we do, it's primarily buses, VW buses, but we have a few Beetles and things that show up on occasion. We have Chase the Sun, which is a kind of a camping and just adventure time with a bunch of similar vehicle owners, which is kind of fun. And we all crash at this one guy's house in his yard, and it's going to be a good time. And there's just a lot going on coming up. And then we do a couple maiden runs and take Mrs. B to take her camping for the first time in the VW, and that ought to be interesting. I am going to do an unboxing. Mrs. B doesn't tolerate the heat very well, and obviously VW buses do not have air conditioning of any kind other than moving and opening the windows. So I got an interesting device called an Icy Breeze cooler, which has basically an air conditioner built into it. It's not a swamp cooler. It's not just sucking air across ice and then blowing it out a vent. It's not an evaporative cooler like this. Actually, is a cooler, has a pump and a radiator, and you fill it with ice and then fill it with some ice water. Obviously, block ice is going to last a heck of a lot longer than cube ice in that kind of scenario, and it circulates the water through the radiator, and then it pulls air across the radiator, just like how a radiator works in a car or any other device, or if you have a water cooled PC or something like that. Like my PC, I've got uh, whatever 240 by 240 was that, a 480 millimeter radiator. It's basically two 240 millimeters across, because it has 240 millimeter fans. And it pumps fluid across the CPU and through the radiator, which cools the fluid and pushes it back down. Same principle, and then this has a hose coming out the top. So we're going to do an unboxing with that and see how that looks. I'm kind of excited for that, and I think it'll hopefully keep Mrs. B a little bit cool, because we're going to do some camping during the summer in the bus, and if there isn't a breeze, it can be brutal. Get some high humidity and some 90s. Yeah, that could get a little pleasant. So hopefully this will take some of the edge off of that heat, and yeah, it should be cool. Um, Again, I appreciate you all coming out. This is the first time I've ever done an unboxing. If you have tips or comments, throw them up in the chat. Um, if you liked what you saw, slam that, hit that follow button, and it doesn't cost you a dime. And we'll do some more. And I apologize. I know I should have done this at the beginning, and I didn't. I know I've been off for a little while. I just had work going on and just some other stuff going on, and taking care of Hoover after he had surgery and all. And got a little disillusioned, with the streaming thing, because it wasn't going as well as I expected. And I expected faster achievement levels, and I guess I just need to be a little bit more patient and do that. And we're gonna change a couple games up, and I don't want to say I'm selling out, but we're gonna do some Call of Duty Warzone and some of the more popular games that people seem to like to watch. We'll definitely get back into some more Fall Guys, and that'll be on some of the shorter nights, just because I get frustrated pretty quickly with that game. So we'll look at doing some more of that, and we'll just keep on trucking, and we'll what's that, cool man, dude? Where at? Where at what? But yeah, we're gonna go out to the Western Shore and hang out there for a little bit, maybe for a weekend, and just do some trips. And then we got a big trip coming up out to the Grand Canyon, which will be fun. We're gonna go by train, and that'll be a good time. Go out to the Grand Canyon by train, and then come back by train. See the good old U.S. of A. And where are the VW shows at? Cool man, dude, sir. There's a bunch that I'm going to. I've got them lined up all the way through next October. A lot of them are local, even. Um, but definitely like cruising. That's open to everyone. I'm doing that because I love going on the boardwalk and taking the bus down the boardwalk. But the following weekend, that's in Ocean City too. That's another VW get together, the VW convoy, chasing the sun, it's called. And then there'll be some more Sunday nooner rides. Gonna going to one about 30 minutes away on Sunday. That's just a general show that raise money for veterans. And then later on, one out in Pennsylvania called Volksfest. Looking to try and do that. And that one would be a good one because it'll haven't done any real long distance runs with the bus since we restored it, and it's still the original motor, and it's got I think over 1 million miles on it now. Because I'm pretty sure we rolled the odometer over a while back. So, or it's close to rolling over. I forget which. It's got a ton for a lawnmower engine. It's got a heck of a lot of miles on it. So, uh, it has had a rebuild done once on the motor, but um, just be kind of nice. I'm a different driver in it. I tend to road rage a bit when I'm just in the regular vehicles, but man, I get in the VW bus, and partly because you can't go fast in it. You're not going anywhere in a hurry in an older VW air-cooled bus with a standard motor. I mean, yeah, if you have fancy race motor or hopped up motor or something like that, yeah, you can scoot along a little bit more, but in that old girl, I mean, 60, 65 is the max you'll go. And you'll never get anywhere quick in the city with it. It's just slow. And it makes me a better person as a driver when I'm in it. So I enjoy it because I de-stress a lot because it forces me to kind of chill out and enjoy the ride. You got that big steering wheel. You can just kind of lean into it and lean on the wheel and just kind of putt down the road. It's a wonderful thing. So I got a lot of good memories. I mean, it's been in my family since we purchased it in 1971. And shit, I'm turning, Christ, what am I turning? 54 next month? Jesus. So it's been in my life since 71. It's 50 years. Well, it just turned 50. It just turned 50. Well, technically it'll turn 50 in October because that's when we bought it, and it was in October. Technically bought it in October of 1970, but it was a 71 model year because that's when they would release a lot of the new model years. So there's a lot of history, a lot of it was funny, a bunch of the things that we found in Matchbox cars that had fallen down into the little nooks and crannies, or having to explain a bunch of beer caps in the ventilation pipe. That was or other toys from different ages of my life, and not big toys, little tiny things. A little plastic fish from a little fishing game. Some other stuff like that, some old comics, some old Peanuts comic books, things like that. So it was it's been a good ride with that bus, and it's been a good thing for my dad to keep him busy and occupied, and we've really enjoyed it. So, all right, well, chat. I think I was toying with. I thinking I was going to play a little bit, but I think I'm just going to call it a night. Um, I'll try and do better on my next unboxing. Be a little better lighting, better camera, but I think it went pretty well. I don't think it was horrible. It was just close quarters for me in here, but yeah, man, yeah, cool, man. Maybe when we come, when we're gonna go camping, I'll shoot you a text when. It's not going to be for a couple months, but when we're going to definitely do our one trip, we're going to go through your neck of the woods, and we'll give you a holler and beep beep. Shoot, we'll talk some more. Maybe if you want to look at the dates that I'm doing, you might want to bust out a 10 or 2 and drag the pups camping. So get a site near us or something like that, and we can hang out and do our thing. I'm just looking at doing a long weekend anyway, so not a big deal. All right. Well, chat, I think I'm going to try and end this stream. I'm going to end the YouTube stream first. So for all you YouTube viewers out there, thank you. Hit that click that follow, click that subscribe, whatever it's called. And I appreciate y'all coming out. And we will do some more in the future. So I will talk to YouTube in a little bit.